All right. I am Taylor, and I am interviewing my mom, Cody Hall. How old are you?
37.
Where did you grow up?
Libby, Montana.
What was it like in Libby, Montana?
A small town in the northwest corner of Montana. It was in the mountains. A lot of outdoors, not a lot of things like you have here growing up, like no malls, no Walmart, no Kmart. We had a movie theater, played 2 movies for an entire week, and usually a week later it was coming out on DVD. We did have a drive-in movie theater in the summertime, so we'd do that. We'd go hunting and fishing and camping and snowmobiling and four-wheeling, and we'd go up to the lake, and my parents had jet skis and a boat, so we would go enjoy the lake. I don't know. We had to make our own fun.
Other than that, like, what was your childhood like there?
Pretty much, I guess, a normal childhood. My mom had a store, my dad had a shop. I'd go help my dad wet sand cars at his shop and sweep up dust and clean up oil at my dad's shop. And my mom had a little party store, and we'd make balloon bouquets and do the stocking, and sometimes we'd get to work the register. I don't know.
Were you and your dad close when you were young?
When I was little, my dad and I were close, yeah.
What about siblings? Do you have any siblings?
I have a sister that's about 2 years younger than me, and a little brother that's 9 years younger than me.
Oh, yeah. What jobs did you have as a teenager, and then what did you do with the money you earned?
My first job, I was 12 or 13, and I used to work for the little old lady that lived behind the field. Her name was Miss Candy. She was about 90 years old, and I would do her gardening and weeding and help her around the house, and I painted her fences. And then after that, I worked with my mom at a little diner as a bus girl. Left there, and I went and worked at our local fast food restaurant, Burger Express. I did almost every job there. I delivered pizza for Country Pizza. I worked at a Mexican restaurant, which was like our only authentic cuisine restaurant in town. I worked at a car dealership with my dad. I detailed cars. I even sold cars in high school.
Jeez.
What I did with the money, I bought and paid for like the 5 different cars I had growing up. Paid for my own gas. We would take trips to Kalispell to go do fun things. We'd go to the races in Spokane. We'd go to the races in Kalispell. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't live in the races like once with like grandma when I went up there. So it was like the Montana like 200 or something.
Montana 200, yep.
Gotcha. And then like, it's like Kalispell where you had to go to like get all
To go
your...
shopping?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kalispell is where you went to Walmart, Kmart, Target, small mall.
Yeah, it was the only like closest big city around there.
And it's not a big city either.
No. Well, like, now they're actually, like, building a lot of other stuff over there, but, like, it's still, like, not that big. Tell me about one of the most important people in your life.
When I was growing up?
Or just now, or...
One of the most important people in my life. Like influential or just important?
Yeah, influential.
Okay.
Or, like, who made the greatest influence on your life?
I really don't know.
No?
No.
Alright. What lessons have you been taught in life by, like, people that you've been around?
Don't take things for granted. Life can change drastically. And cherish every moment that you have with your kids, because you're not guaranteed every moment with your kids. Life's hard. Life's fun. It's amazing. But it's challenging. And I don't know. You just have to live every day like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah. Pretty much. Alright. What job do you currently hold, and what job have you currently held? What job are you currently holding?
I work at Progressive Insurance as a medical subrogation specialist.
Yeah, and I know you worked at, like, UH before, and then, like...
Walgreens as a pharmacy technician.
Yep. Alright. And how's, like, Progressive, for you? Like, how is it? Is it, like, a good job for you?
It's a great job. I like what I do. Interact with people every day. Customer service. I guess I can explain what a medical subrogation specialist is. When there's a car accident and our insured is not at fault, we pay out some of their medical based off of what they have, if it's PIP or MedPay, and I know you don't know what that means. But once the claim settles, it's my job to get that money back from the at-fault carrier. So the person who caused the accident, their insurance company, has to pay us back for that money that we fronted to help cover the medical bills at the beginning.
Oh. Alright. And how'd you find your way to, like, Progressive?
I want a car.
Keys to Progress.
Progressive Insurance has a program called Keys to Progress for veterans, and I was nominated the year of 2016, and I was presented the car in November of 2016, and I applied to Progressive immediately afterwards and started in December of 2016.
I still think that's funny. When you were younger, what did you imagine your job to be?
Mechanical engineer.
That's funny, because, like,
That's what you want to do. I know, it's funny.
I know, I never, like, knew that until, like, you, like, recently told me. And, because I remember, like, a while back, you, like, I said I wanted to be an architect, and then you told me you wanted to be an engineer, but I didn't know what kind of engineer you wanted to be. When were you in the military?
I joined the Navy when I was 19 years old in 1999. And I spent 9 years in the Navy. I got out in 2008.
What was the military like?
It was fun. It was hard. It was hard because we had to leave a lot. I had to leave you and your brother when you were little. I went on my first deployment when you were 6 months old, and I came back after your first birthday. I think in the first 4 years of your life, I missed your first 4 birthdays. No, I think I missed your birthday in 2002 when you turned 1, and I missed your birthday in, I believe, 2003 and 4.
So, wait,
I think I only...
Were you there for Jordan's?
I was there for Jordan's first birthday. His second birthday, I don't think I was there. I think I was gone. His third birthday, I was deployed. Missed a lot of important things. I missed your first steps. I missed Jordan's first steps. I missed your first tooth. I missed Jordan's first tooth. I missed your first day of kindergarten. Jordan's first day of kindergarten. It was hard.
Yeah. I think I lost, like, one of these two tooth, like, as my first ones, where it was, like, down here. I don't remember.
I don't mean your first tooth that you lost.
Oh,
your
grew
first
in?
tooth growing in.
Oh, okay, I got you. When you were in the military, like, how many countries did you visit?
A lot. Did a couple deployments. My first deployment was in South America. We went to Panama, Peru, Ecuador, Guatemala, Costa Rica, Chile, Mexico. I think that's all of them. And then my second deployment, we went to Guam, Singapore, Bahrain, Dubai, Rhodes, Greece, Lisbon, Portugal. I think that's it. I think.
Cause like I have like a bunch of those coins from like all the countries, like some of the countries you visited, and like I can't remember, but like I remember a few from like Singapore and all those. Those are pretty cool. What motivated you to join the military?
I didn't have the money to go to college and do what I wanted to do, so I was gonna let the military pay for it.
All right. What was like the daily life while in the service?
Depended on if you were in port or out to sea or on shore duty or sea duty. If you were not out to sea, it was just a regular job pretty much. You'd get up and you'd work your 8-hour shift unless you had duty. If you had duty, you had 24-hour duty. You'd still work your job, and then you might have watch when you were on duty for 24 hours. If you were deployed, it was pretty much, you had a work day, but then you had some downtime a little bit, but you couldn't go home. So you'd either stay in your workspace and watch movies, or go down to the mess decks and play cards, or hang out and talk with your friends, or watch a movie in your rack with a portable device and headphones, read, go to the gym.
So you kind of have like quite a bit of free time, like other than when you're like working,
When you're at home or out to sea.
or like when you're at home.
It's like a regular job. Just like when, like now, like I get up and I go to work at 8:30.
Yeah.
Or I start at work at 8 and I get off at 4:30. There it was like you worked from 7 in the morning until 3:30, 4 o'clock. And then you'd go home just like you do on a normal job, and like I said, unless you had duty. And then you had to stay on base for 24 hours, or if you had to watch, you'd have to stay on watch.
All right. Would you say like being gone was like the most difficult part, like of being in the military?
Yes. Being away from you, your brother, your dad.
Yeah, 'cause like you said, you did miss like quite a bit when you were younger. 'Cause like I remember, I vaguely remember like living in Washington. Like there were like times where you'd be gone, and like I remember being with Dad quite a bit then. But like
That's after your dad got out, yeah.
yeah, I like there's like little bits and pieces that I remember, but like I don't remember too much about it. Describe your transition from military to civilian life. Was it like easy, difficult?
It was difficult because I wasn't ready to get out.
Yeah, 'cause like
I
after
got out after Ashley passed away. It wasn't something I had prepared myself for because I'd planned on doing 20 years. So, it was very difficult. I struggled. It's very hard because a lot of people don't don't know how to take military experience and turn it into civilian experience because I, I've done things that, like even in the administration side, trying to put that into a resume where a civilian employer could understand it was very difficult because I had spent my entire adult life in the military. But I went to school, went to pharmacy.
Was it like difficult trying to find like a job afterwards, or?
Yes and no. I had applied for a lot of jobs, but then I went to school right away. So I went to school, and then I got my externship, and I got hired right into the same place I did my externship at, and then I applied out and went to the hospital. So I think if I wouldn't have gone to school, yes, I think it would have been very difficult.
So, if given the opportunity, would you join again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like, what was it? Like, when, I remember you tried to get Dad to join the military again, like, because I remember
To go
you,
back in after he got his degree, yeah.
yeah, no, you're, like, telling me about, like, going to Japan and, like, Korea and all that stuff. Like, what was that for? Like, to, just deployment? Is that where you'd be deployed at a lot, or? Because, like, I remember you telling me about that stuff, but, like, I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
Because you really, I remember you going on about, like, saying how, like, oh, you'd be able to get, like, an education in Japan and, like, have a really good education.
Like if you were to get stationed in another country.
Oh, that's what it is.
Because that was one of the things that I wanted to do with you guys is do an overseas tour and take you guys with me for 4 years.
Okay.
My dream was Iceland, but they closed the base down, so I couldn't.
Why Iceland?
It was beautiful there.
True. Cause I kind of want, like, I don't know why, but, like, feel, like, another, like, a place that I wanted to go was Iceland just because it's, like, really pretty there. And, like, I don't, like, I just think it's funny how it's, like, Greenland and Iceland are switched like that.
Yep.
Alright, how would you like to be known by people? Like, what is something that, like, you want people to know you for?
There's a few things. I'd like people to know that I'm a good, strong mother, hard worker, I'm loyal, I'm honest. I do anything for my family. I don't know.
Alright, well, that's about it. But, thank you.
You're welcome.